The Little Book of Grief, Grace, and Gratitude by Chris Palmore. There is no pain so great as the memory of joy in present grief. Aeschylus. The room is dark. There are beeps from the machine. My sister is lying on the bed. I can see the drip over her shoulder. The tube coming out of it is going under the bed and into her right arm. Her bed faces a television that will never be turned on. I see a face I don't recognize on the other side of the bed. She is definitely acting like a nurse, but doesn't have a nurse's uniform. It takes me a while to figure out who it is. Toby's mom. Toby is my sister's oldest friend. I sit down and take in my once vibrant sister, now drugged up, with a tube going into her nose. She is semi-conscious and has difficulty breathing. It's painful to watch. Having found out about her cancer less than 2 weeks ago still feels like a nightmare. In this intense, sad moment, as I am watching her, I don't want to look too long. I don't need this image to burn into my psyche and be what I remember of her. I have so many beautiful and happy memories of her with her. I don't want this one to take root and darken out the others. I put my hand in her hand. She is still alive. Hope hasn't left the building, but its presence is getting thinner with each passing moment in this room. As I watch her struggling to breathe, I think of my breath and how easy I have it. My sister has been living with this cancer growing in her body for over 1.5 years, and it has finally become so big that it's blocking her airways like a traffic jam, shutting down 6 lanes and pushing them into one, with that last lane barely moving. She needs oxygen pumped into her nose just to get her breathing and things moving. I think of myself. I have both air to breathe and lungs that take it in and push it out, allowing my heart to pump. What a gift it is that I take for granted thousands of times a day. This air coming into my lungs and feeding my heart allows my brain to have oxygen. Because of it, I can live, think, be present, love, write, and appreciate the moments, even these moments, before they are gone. Sitting in the hospice wing of this hospital, walking down this corridor into the room where my sister's heart will stop within the next 48 hours, this feeling, they all remind me of where I was a little over 8 years ago. I was holding my mom's hand, breast cancer. Now, my sister, only 47 years old, was already slipping away. Everything looked and felt the same. My dad later told me that the hospice was on the 2nd floor 8 years ago, and now it's on the 6th. It's the same setup, the same long corridor, the same silence. It's the death wing, but it's also the life wing. As I was holding my mom's hand 8 years ago in the same building, 4 floors below, Seinfeld was playing on television in the room. I don't know who had turned it on, but I looked over at it and smiled as tears ran down my cheek. My mom was rushed here in an ambulance, and she was in so much pain that they had to put her in a drug-induced coma. I knew my mom would never wake up again, this beautiful loving woman who had given me more love than all the other people in the world. Her heart would stop less than 18 hours later. Her cancer had metastasized, and she too was struggling to breathe and hooked to an oxygen tank. I am crying now just thinking about my mom, about my sister. I'll cry on their next birthday. I'll cry when I look at my dad. I'll cry every time I miss them. Missing someone is a gift, the gift of being alive. The more you love someone and the closer you feel to someone, the more you miss them, the true definition of loss. I've been fortunate enough to learn 3 lessons from these losses. First, we don't mourn the living. We appreciate every moment we have with them. There is plenty of time to mourn them later, if and when we lose them. Second, we shouldn't allow our final moments with our loved ones to block the good memories from our minds. Third, breathing is everything. If we ever ask ourselves what we have to be grateful for, the answer is the oxygen entering our lungs. I am grateful for air and for my ability to breathe. Air is an invisible gift floating around us, and in and out of us, all day, thousands of times a day. Invisible gifts are the easiest ones to take for granted. What if we all took breathing more seriously? What if we really appreciated the fact that we get to breathe? Watching a loved one while they struggle to inhale and exhale and seeing them with oxygen running up their nose are images that are hard to let go of. These images have been burned in my brain. I've done my best to not allow them to traumatize me, but when they reappear in my mind's eye, I remind myself that life is a gift and I should appreciate the invisible gifts that make my life possible. I am grieving now, again. This time, I can't disappear and isolate myself to reflect. I have to make myself available and be present for my dad. My first loss taught me a valuable lesson on perspective. At first, when I lost my mom, I was so angry and so sad that I didn't think about my dad or my sister and how losing mom had affected them. I realized later that as agonizing as it had been for me, my dad had it harder. This time, I know better. This time, I will be there for Dad,